This is, I am okay to tell you exactly how I feel, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I experience, because I don't view my vulnerabilities or my areas of vulnerability as something that I myself need to shun. And so because I don't feel I need to shun my vulnerabilities, I really give not two fucks about whether you shun me for what I'm about to share with you, because I'm not responsible for your response. I don't have to internalize your response. I don't have to wear your response. I don't have to think about your response. I do, however, have to observe your response.
Goddess sisters, this is the second part of a conversation that we have been having, brought to us by our good ancestress, the Goddess Oya, about the seductiveness of our vulnerability. Thank you so much for tapping back in, and we are going to pick up right where we left off. So if you have not watched part one, I do advise you go and do that. Let's get into it.
So your vulnerabilities can be utilized as like a road sign to direct you where you need to further embrace and nurture yourself, right? It's almost like you learn how to speak up versus acting out. You learn how to respond versus reacting. Embracing your vulnerabilities gives you the ability to choose how you're going to show up in a moment, whether it's a moment with yourself alone, or whether it's a moment with someone, with a partner or a boss or an employer. You learn how to speak up and not act out. You learn how to respond and not react. Trusting that you are safe, and not only trusting that you are safe, but knowing and feeling a sense of safety that you didn't have before when you viewed vulnerability the way the Patriots taught us to view vulnerability. I'm gonna be using that word because I think we need to we need to stop with the hyping on the Matrix thing and get an understanding. Like, the Matrix is not the problem. Okay, is not the problem. There's another aspect, and we're gonna call it the Patriots because that's what they calling it. But I got that out of thin air, so we're gonna run with that. All right. Must have been spirit speaking through me. Must have been, had to been, right? All right. So trusting that you are safe to express where you feel vulnerable. Express your vulnerabilities through the frequency. This is very important. Express your vulnerabilities through the frequency of self-awareness and self-acceptance, because this is not reacting. This is not acting out. This is, I am okay to tell you exactly how I feel, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I experienced, because I don't view my vulnerabilities or my areas of vulnerability as something that I myself need to shun. And so because I don't feel I need to shun my vulnerabilities, I really give not two fucks about whether you shun me for what I'm about to share with you, because I'm not responsible for your response. I don't have to internalize your response. I don't have to wear your response. I don't have to think about your response. I do, however, have to observe your response. And this is when you feel safe, because you are self-aware and self-accepting of the totality of you, your perfections and imperfections, your strengths and your weakness. This is where you then become like a pilot within yourself to navigate yourself and to expose areas of yourself that are working against you. Through observing your vulnerabilities, through observing your triggers, and what triggers that, I feel naked. What triggers that, right? I feel exposed. What triggers that? You understand? When you become safe with being exposed, safe with being seen, through self-awareness and self-accepting that, no, you're not perfect. No. But in my imperfection, I'm perfect. So technically I am. I'm just not, my perfection is not void of my imperfection. We got to rewire how we think about this, because this is what brings us to higher vibrations, but this is what bring us to healing. Not just of things that we've experienced this lifetime, but things that we have experienced in past lives that we may not even remember. There are going to be things that you experienced in a past lifetime that you're not even going to know that you needed healing from until after you get the healing to whatever took place in this lifetime. And then you're gonna have a deep aha moment that's something that's been running through the theme of your life for many lifetimes. So we're not always aware of the things that are carried over into this lifetime from other lifetimes. So this is deep healing, but it starts with self-acceptance and awareness that in our imperfection we are perfect. So we can stop splitting ourselves in this and putting ourselves in these boxes of right, wrong, good, evil. Bring that, cease that. If you can cease splitting yourself and compartmentalizing yourself that way, the faster you can do that, the faster you can bring yourself to wholeness, healthiness, wellness. Because those compartments conflict. And then the mind starts to work overtime trying to make sense of that. So what we're trying to do here is literally bypass the cognitive process of the mind of trying to define ourselves, trying to define whether we're right, whether we're wrong, whether we're good, whether we're ugly, whether we're cute, whether we're whatever the fuck. We are what we are. And whatever we are perfect, even with our imperfections. These are the vulnerabilities that when they are embraced through self-acceptance and self-awareness, you then can utilize it as a tool to gain deeper intimacy and a tool to uncover that which is hiding. That which is hiding. What is hiding in you? That's not overtly right there. See, it's some covert shit that be on the inside of us. And these times we feel triggered and we feel vulnerable when we stop disguising and using a mask or using some masking tape or using a little gorilla glue to try to paste it together, make sure nobody see that it's a crack right there. And when we stop doing that, then those vulnerabilities and those triggers say hey, look at me. I'm over here too. I love you. I want you. I need your attention. Embrace me too. Those vulnerabilities and those triggers are like a neon light calling for your nurturing, calling for you to pay attention to it like a child. Mommy, I need you. And so we've been trained to be neglectful to those aspects, right? And see, this is the difference between survival and thriving. Survival will make you do whatever you need to do to get through. That's all you worry about is getting through. not dying, not being killed, not being hurt, not being traumatized, not being without, not experiencing loss, don't want no pain, no nothing, right? Survival will cause you to do whatever is required in that moment. So if putting on a mask is required because I feel vulnerable, and that vulnerable, and I'm thinking about vulnerability as being weakness, and in that weakness I feel like I need to hide, I need to get out of the way, get out of dodge, right? So then you slap up a mask and you don't want to show anybody where you're feeling vulnerable. That is survival, but that is not thriving. Thriving means that I totally embrace every aspect of who I am, and I fortify for myself, I cut for myself the path that I want to walk by expressing and being exactly who I am. I am thriving, not surviving, because I'm safe. I'm safe within myself first. And so when I start feeling safe in myself, because I've learned to embrace and accept all of me, I can take the mask off and sit it down. I never have to go back to it unless I need to. And see, this is what I mean. This is what Oya means when she says seduction. Seduction, a tool. A tool. Once again, with the word seduction, she is highlighting not that manipulative stuff, not the stuff that leaves the other person, feeling deceived. Not that. But seduction as a tool to get what it is you need, whether or not what it is you need. That thing better get out of here. I don't want to kill that little thing, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't finna sit up here and get whatever. It's okay. Seduction as a tool to get what you need, if what you need is information. Whether this is of yourself, from your deeper self, from your higher self, from your lower self. You need information. So becoming safe in your vulnerabilities, safe in your weaknesses, safe in the areas that are peeking their head up to you to say, hey, pay attention to me. Do not cover me up. I'm right here. I need your help to bring healing. I need your help to bring strength to me. I need you to pay attention to me, not throw on another mask. Then you are able to glean the information from that aspect of yourself so that you can fortify deeper intimacy with yourself, and then therefore see the greater beauty in yourself.
Thank you so much, Divine Feminines, for tapping in with your girl for the second part of the seductiveness of vulnerability. But unfortunately, due to a video and audio error, the latter part of this conversation was not captured. So I will definitely come back. I want to talk more about the seductiveness of our vulnerability after we have embraced and accepted ourselves, and how we can utilize that as a tool in our relationships going forward to glean the information we need to know about folks before we go to putting our heart and shit all out there. You know what I'm saying? So we're definitely going to come back and talk about that at a later date. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the notification bell if you have not. And I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your support, and I will definitely see you on the next one. Peace, fam.